Cool. I think, yeah, there was something you want to do before the battle started. You wanted to like,
Yeah, I think you said that Jacob was sort of leading me. He took me to where the ambush is going to be to set it up. And when he does, when I'm walking with Jacob, I say, you seem to be very knowledgeable in the way of spirits. You're familiar. You making sure that we're near a consecrated grounds is a wise choice, and I support it. I wonder if you uh, have other affinities for spirits um, that I should know about.
I was bound to the spirit of the griffin when I was a child. It is, I don't know. It is what it is. It means that I have certain affinities. Certain things come maybe easier to me or more naturally or something. I don't know.
Hmm.
But yes. However, I do not traffic in spirits in any other way. It's just something that's in my lineage. I don't know.
Was it a choice you made? A bargain? And then she kind of realizes, like, oh wow, I'm really overstepping my bounds. She's like, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I don't, we don't know each other that well. I'm paranoid and and being overly precautious, and in doing so, I'm invading in your personal life, your history. Um,
I went I climbed a mountain when I was a child to steal a griffin's egg, and I was caught by the griffin. And I apologized. I don't know. And ever since then, I've been touched.
hmm.
Not just the griffin, but I don't know. Not just that one griffin. That's one of many that live on the mountains near where the valley I live, but others. Uh, the one griffin. I don't know. The wizards have tried to explain it to me. I don't have a head for that.
Huh. Um, uh, and she says, "Seems like it was a good idea for you to apologize and take responsibility for a foolish act. I'm getting more familiar with that myself."
The Duchess wants you to ride with her. She will be in the midst of the battle. Are you comfortable with that?
No, but I don't think there's a better choice. I will try before the ambush to cloak you all in shadows. Make make it easier for you to hide among
He
them.
nods. He says shadows would be good. And yeah, I think Freja like rides over and like puts her hand out for you to get back on her back. She says,
Yeah.
"I'll be in the thick. I'll be in the thick of things, but sometimes that's the best place to be.
Um,
Hold on."
I will. Give me a moment before they arrive to deepen the shadows and stretch them across our retinue.
Yeah,
Hopefully, give us a better element of surprise.
cool. And I think like uh, you hear Jacob give like an owl hoot that lets you know that like they're coming, and you can like hear their hoofbeats.
Nice.
And she says, if you're going to cast it now." And if it's fire, do not light me on fire. That's how my grandfather went.
She says, no, I will not be lighting anybody on fire anytime soon.
She says, before you cast, go into your pack, go into the pack and get me an apple. There should be a pack on your right.
Yeah, she sort of digs down and pulls it out.
Yeah, and she takes it and like leans forward and like gives it to her horse, and like, you know, rubs his ear and says, "You ready to kill some motherfuckers, Brutus?" and Brutus takes the apple and does not, you know, kind of snorts.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, she was wondering what the apple was for. She's like, is this to calm your nerves? Do you eat an apple before you let a sorcerer cast a spell behind you?
No.
All right, so I think they're gonna try and make a stealth test to ambush these folks. So I feel like the duration of the spell that I want to last is one test. But it's a group, right? It's a group of people that I'm trying to cast on. So that's +3 ob. And I think for breadth. And I think that's it. So I'm gonna go for, oh man, +1d is ob 2, so that'd be ob 5. +2d is ob 3, so ob 6. That's, I mean, if I'm rolling like I did last time, wrong.
Right.
Yeah, I think Nara's gonna break some rules and name her spell after the elven spell of the same name, which is gonna confuse scholars for all sorts of time.
Awesome.
But she's gonna call this the Threne of the Chameleon.
Nice. No, not that Threne of Chameleon, the other one. Why did she name it this? Because she was a terrible fucking person. That's why. Because she was terrible.
Because she was an elf friend and she heard it and she knew that, and that was the name that came to mind. And also, she was a terrible person.
This is clearly the dopest spell name you can have for this. So
exactly. How could I not cast? How could I not cast Threne of the Chameleon? All right. Do I have any Artha to spend at all on this? I have one persona,
which you could also use to survive if something goes really wrong.
Exactly. Yeah, let's go. I'm definitely working in astrology because it's nighttime. I think in this case, actually, it is applicable. Normally, we said, you know, I haven't used aura sight. I haven't used aura reading because I've generally been casting spells on myself, but in this case, I'm casting on the group, and so I will be, if it sounds good to you, I will be looking at their auras and trying to mute them effectively, being like, Jacob, no, you need to be here. I know you might, you know, I'm going to bring an aura reading, especially because I can see who we're trying to hide from, and
I can deal with that.
All right, and I don't think they're so close that I can't do this carefully. Does that sound reasonable? That I can summon this spell, take my time to cast the spell, or is it sudden?
I think it's happening pretty fast.
Okay, so no carefully. All right, so I've got astrology and aura reading. There we go. That's what I got. Let's see how. I'm gonna see if I can get. I don't think I have anything else to add to that.
Yeah. Any traits that we're forgetting about?
Not any traits that would give me an extra die on. Would give me an extra die on.
Okay.
On a spell.
Okay. Sounds good. Let's do this thing.
All right. Okay. We're gonna go. I'm gonna give them. It's only plus. I'm just gonna give them +1D because I want this to work. Hopefully.
Yeah.
So sorcery, 2 fork dice. Nora thought up 5, 2 for the thing. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna reroll a traitor.
Okay.
And see if I can get that.
Make magic happen.
Maybe
Literally.
I can make magic happen. Yes. Maybe. Oh,
here we go.
Come on. Yes!
Oh shit!
Oh my god! Oh my god!
It's way too late in the night for me to be fucking screaming like that. Johnny's going to come out and give me a dirty look in just a second. I can feel it.
I'm sorry.
Holy shit! No, it's fine. It's fine. Just like describe that shit, man. What does the spell look like? What? How did the shadows cloak out?
Yeah. So I think Nara, because I mean, she is. This is not the Threne of the Chameleon, but this is how Nara knows it from spending time with Phil Nightingale, who certainly cast it. She, the Duchess can hear Nara singing, and she's calling out. She calls out and she says, birch and pine, lean, birch and pine, lend me, reach your arms over us, mountains, hills and hill and valley engulf us, and each of the shadows of the trees and whatnot, each of them, the shadows would make you look like the trees were reaching, but then when you kind of look up, the tree isn't. But it's like the tree reaches over, the hill angles in, and it's probably kind of nauseating, honestly, if you're looking from a distance. If they're just seeing it getting darker, but from our perspective, it's like we're watching all of those shadows just sort of grow and deepen. But the thing that casts them, doesn't move at all except for the rustling of the wind. And she's just kind of calling them all by name, because Wizardverse is the freaking bomb, and I'm going to steal from that as well. And and as she names each of them, their shadows extend.
Awesome.
Oh my lord, that's not happened before. Not the way I'm rolling tonight.
So let's just see if I roll a 6, then maybe this goes. No. Okay, cool. Die of Fate, just to kind of see if things went hairy, but I think things are going to go how I say the following ways. They come out in front of you, and Freja waits for the middle of them to kind of the middle of their little kind of party to get by them. Mm-hmm. And then you see one of them fall off their horse, but they don't really understand what's happened. They don't understand that he took an arrow to the neck. And they're like, "Are you okay?" And they start to circle around to see what's going on, and she clucks at Brutus, and Brutus takes a couple of quick steps, the type of steps that you've been used to the last couple of days, and then she kicks, and then she pulls hard and kicks, or lets the rein out and kicks, and Brutus, all 4 hoofs are off the ground as he's moving. Right, he is a brutal war machine, and he hits one of their horses on the side and knocks that person off, and I think that horse just kind of gets driven to the ground, and Brutus does not stop and goes after the next one, and she's through 2 people, one down just from Brutus sideswiping them, and another because Brutus goes up on she says, "Hold on," and Brutus goes up and just puts hooves on another guy, and then I think she turns and you're like side to side with another rider, and her, she's using her spear, and things are happening really fast, and I think that the person you're like horse to horse with is the demon. Matter of fact, it's Tovar. Fuck, because Tovar's the one possessed, right? So yeah, you're side to side and circling, and she's stabbing at Tovar, and Tovar has her shield up and doesn't have her weapon out, and like Frej's spear is just punching holes in Frej's in Tovar's shield, and and you can hear there are other things going on all around you. You hear somebody scream. You hear a horse scream. An arrow whizzes by your ear. What are you doing?
So when at various times, I think Freyja felt like this sharp tug in her gut as things were happening, and Nara was squeezing very hard so as not to fall off.
Yeah.
Yeah, when all this is happening, I think it's that thing where if you are not used to fighting, your situational awareness is really poor. So if you've not been in a fight before, I think fighting is terrifying. And luckily, she's just like holding on for dear life. And when she realizes that it's Tovar, when Freyja is just attacking her, she says in Freyja's ear, she says that's Tovar. She's the one. We need to incapacitate her, and then like her voice, she sort of trails off like, but not kill her.
Right. So make a steel test to see if you can like pick if you can do something. I mean, let's just see let's see if you can do something before Tovar gets killed, probably.
I don't want Tovar to die. Well, my steel actually went up since last session after being possessed by a demon. Go figure.
Awesome.
So I got a B6
and picking up the burning wheel. Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, those two things. Yeah, and so I have a B6 steel. I think you do get a benefit on steel tests when you have companions at your side. Do you think that counts right now?
Yeah, that totally. Yep.
Okay. Normally, it's always just like, and worse things, and worse things, and worse things for steel tests. But I think in this case, I actually I think it's just plus. I think it's like +1 to 3, depending on how outnumbering it is. It's probably just +1 in this case, but
yeah, I would say +1. Let's go with that.
Okay, sounds good. All right, my will is 4, so my hesitation is 6. So I'm rolling 7. Got 1 advantage die. No Artha. Hesitation of 6. Not even close. I got 1 success, which means I hesitate for 5 actions. Or in fight, or just as long as is appropriate if we're
Yeah.
I'm trying to do it, but I think I'm so shaken. Yeah.
Yeah. So. Oof, a 6.
Oh, that die of fate was
cool. So Tovar, here's what happens on that. Here's what that die of fate says. Okay. Tovar gets stabbed by takes the wound in the gut under the ribs, and makes an I would say inhuman, but literally an inhuman demonic noise, and then just like pulls herself along the shaft, because it's not like a boar spear where you've got those prongs that'll stop something like that.
Right.
It's just a spear, and she pulls herself along the spear and takes out a dagger and starts stabbing Freja, um, who takes like some brutal wounds. And I think like that's when you come to. That's when you're like 5. Uh, you know, that's when your steel stops. That's when your hesitation stops.
Yeah.
Is this woman Freja who has been keeping you safe and you've been kind of confiding in, and this knight who you know is possessed by something beyond her, and is being driven to do evil by a terrible creature, uh, are killing one another right in front of you, and what are you going to do?
Well, obviously the only thing I can do, which is what happened last time, which is get myself possessed by this demon so that it's not in Tovar anymore. Because that's, I want to banish it. I want to send it away.
Right.
My understanding is that's an act of faith that I don't have.
Yeah.
I don't have faith to do a miracle that would exorcise the demon.
Right.
And so last time I screwed up in his presence, he possessed me, but
Right.
I was able to break free, and so I feel like the only way that I can free Tovar, and I mean I can't ask, I can't ask Freja to stop trying to fight for her life,
Yeah.
and Tovar is possessed by a demon that is driving her this way. So I think I try to grab. I think I try and grab Tovar's arm, like I try to like, get her attention, like make her realize that I'm there. Also, the demon will realize I'm there, and I say this vessel is weak and going to die. You should choose a better host before you lose this one. And I try to taunt the demon into possessing me instead of her.
Yeah. All right. So there's a bunch of ways we could do this.
Mm-hmm.
You could cast a spell that gives yourself the trait possessed, right? That's a thing that you can do with magic. We could even say that like it's a spell you've cast before, and like that was the mistake, is like you actually like stumbled into a new spell, like welcome the demon, right?
Yeah.
So that's one option. Or we could just do some kind of, I don't know what role. Like what is it? Some kind of social role to try to taunt the demon into doing this.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think what I'm trying is intimidate. Honestly, I think I'm trying to. Nara's yelling. She's telling the demon that his vessel is going to die.
Yeah.
And she's yelling and trying to goad him into taking her as well. So I think I'm trying to make an intimidate. I mean, this could be dual wits, but I feel like at least for this particular thing, it's a single action to try.
Yeah, it's too fast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Too fast. Yep. Yeah, I think it's like an ob 8 intimidate, right? I think like devils probably have like a 6 will, and it's probably gray.
Mm-hmm.
So
seems right.
I think we're looking at an ob 8.
Cool. No problem. I have an instinct about this.
Okay.
I don't know if it applies, but you tell me
What
if
is
you
it?
feel like it's.
Yeah.
When preparing for an argument, always cast Smoke and Shadows the Starless Night to bolster my presence, which
Love it.
is a spell that increases my intimidate. It gives advantage to intimidate. So
Yep.
Yeah. It seems particularly fitting since I'm telling. I've already cast a spell to wreathe people in shadows. Now I'm making them dance about me.
Yeah.
And that can't be a good feeling for Freja. But all right, sorcery. I want to fork in aura reading on this as well because I am doing things specifically to get the demon's attention. I'm looking at the demon's aura and trying very much to focus all of its attention on me.
Cool.
Does that I kind of want like a bigger framework for aura reading so that I could like say more about why, but I still feel like it's applicable.
Okay.
Here.
So right now we're getting ready to cast the spell that will help you do the intimidate, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to bring in astrology because I can.
Yep.
And I can't do it carefully. This is just rush urgent, fast as I can. So
Cool.
All right. 2, 4. No. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Holy cow.
All right. That first die was a 1, so I'm going to roll it to see if it subtracts, but
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It subtracts, so let's roll again. It doesn't. So that's only 7 because of astrology. Thanks, astrology. But that fired off. So that's +3 dice on intimidate.
Yeah.
I have a B3 intimidate, so I'm rolling B3 intimidate versus ob 8.
Yeah.
But I do now. I can use skills in regular ways. I do think I can fork in ugly truth. She has a horrible wound. She is probably going to die. That's not different.
Totally.
Tell me if this is too.
I always do. Yep.
Too weird, but I want to bring in apocalypse wise. If the demon wants to do real damage, a wizard is a better host than a knight.
Yes.
And I say, you know how powerful I am. You know what a wizard can do.
Yeah.
I would,
and I want to add to that. I want to say that you remember an apocalyptic line from a really rare tome that talked about the possessed archmage bringing the end of the world.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So yes, I recall the tome and I say, if this is your true desire, then I've held the wheel and I've
Yep.
I think I would fork in bloodletting because she's bleeding out, but I've already brought in ugly truth because of that.
Yeah.
So
I don't think so.
That doesn't make any sense. And I'm bringing in astrology because I can.
Yep. Do it.
Because I need everything I got. So, all right. So that was ugly truth, aura reading. No, not aura reading. Ugly truth, apocalypse wise, and astrology.
Yep.
I got 3 helping dice or 3 help forks, and I got 3 dice from advantage. All right, rolling 9 dice, trying to get ob 8. Crazy.
I've seen weirder things.
Yeah.
Hit those keys to roll the dice with. All right.
And there's not even a single 6 in that.
Okay.
In that. Yeah. There's nothing I can do about that. Wait. Cool. Do I have a call on? I have a call on, but I think it's for reading. Let me double check. Yeah. I mean, if I had a call on right now, I would use the shit out of that.
No shit you would. I
am driven to read Igna's travel journal.
No.
No help there.
No help there, my friend. I'm sorry.
Right. No, it's fine. I didn't expect this to work, but I didn't. Short of trying to kill Tovar myself, which I'm also terrible at, I didn't know any better plan. So
yeah. Cool. So
yeah. Probably should have
I
asked what
think.
happens if I fail this.
Well, I think here's what happens. I think the battle is raging all around you, and the horses both fall over, and you end up sitting there amidst the bleeding bodies of these two women who have been mentors and friends to you, and they're both dying. And there doesn't really seem to be much shit you could do about that. I'm not saying there isn't. I'm just saying, like, that's the feeling. Is like, I'm not telling you how you're feeling.
No,
I'm
I
saying,
get
like,
it.
you're in this hopeless situation where you're in the middle of this battle. People are killing and dying all around you. You don't even really know who's going to win the battle, and the two people you are closest to here are bleeding to death.
Both dying, yeah. How far are we from the town that the Ironlander that
I think you're in town. Like, you're like right at
Okay.
the edge of town. Yeah. Like, you came out from like between two buildings.
Okay, right.
But I still think it's like there are enough trees and like shade around here that like your shadows still like were about trees and hills and all that stuff.
Yeah. Did we talk did we like during the day when we were setting up, did we go into the town at all? Was there any interacting with the people there?
No, I think they avoided that because they didn't want anyone to know they were there.
All right. And Brutus, you said fell over. Is Brutus dying or is Brutus?
No, Brutus is fine. Okay. Brutus is fine. Mostly because Andy and Joniki would never forgive me if Brutus got hurt.
Yeah.
So,
but it's also okay for you to say Brutus is, incapacitated and not injured. What I'm wondering is, is it possible? I don't think Nara has any ability to do this, but I think Nara's thought would be lash them to Brutus and have him drag them into town so that I can find someone to heal them. Probably won't work because they're probably too far gone. And also I have no ride skill or anything like that, but Nara isn't thinking like, what do I know how to do? Just what is possible. So I am thinking, and I just kind of got to get a sense. I feel like, oh no, that ride will just kill them, or there's no way you could, or you can only pick one, or something like that. But I'm thinking, she was talking to Brutus. I know where Brutus's apples are. There's surely rope. There's surely.
I mean, you could throw them both over the saddle.
Yeah.
I am going to. I think it's an ob2 power test to get them both up and over this huge battle horses.
Because what skill I do have? Animal husbandry.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we don't need to breed the creature. We just
but
need to.
I think it covers things like coaxing the creature to follow me and things like that as well. You're right. I don't need to. I think animal husbandry works. Like it doesn't matter. I need to get them onto the saddle. That's
yeah. I think it's an ob2 power test, straight up.
Awesome.
And I think if you fail, then I think one of them is going to die. I'm going to roll to see which one.
Okay. I'm spending a persona on this. My one persona. Because sometimes power tests to get people on a horse is more important than other things. I got a B4 power. I don't think I can get any help. Everyone else is too busy. Do it.
Nice. You throw them over the saddle and get Brutus to walk them into town faster than you would have been able to drag them.
Yeah.
And
I
and I
lure
think
him with
like,
an apple. I
oh
pull an
yeah, yeah,
apple out
yeah,
of the
totally.
saddlebag, and I'm like, "Come on, Brutus."
Oh yeah, he's down. And uh I think the first like thing you come to is a Church of the Burning Wheel.
Perfect. Well, I'm going to
Um,
flop them down there, or I'm going to bring them there, and I'm going to just start yelling. I mean, there is zero subtlety that Nara is going for.
yeah,
People are dying. Bring your church, your surgeon
yeah,
or your. And I actually have a healing skill. Bloodletting is a healing skill.
okay,
So I'm not great at it, but if no one comes, I will try it. If someone comes, I will give them a helping die. But it can be used like field. Um, it's in the category of field medicine and herbalism and all the others. It's
yeah,
um, I mean, I know we feel it's a very archaic form, but for within the context of the game, it's a viable healing skill.
yeah. So let's is there someone who can heal them in the church? And I think like Burning Wheel has given us the tools to figure that out. Like, let's
Yeah,
make that circles test and see.
yeah.
Uh, and do you have any life paths that will get you there?
I don't know, right? So I have 4 different settings. So you tell
Okay.
me if any of these. I have village, soldier, um, uh, hold on, let me pull it up. Village, what was darn it. I don't have it written down in, hold on, if I go to the burner, maybe character burner.
I mean, I think we're looking for like an ex-chaplain, right?
Yeah,
Like someone who was a chaplain in the army who now works at this church.
I think then that covers under soldier. Yeah.
Cool.
So, yep.
Cool. So that's a broad occupation or same life path. Um, but I think we're looking for a specific disposition or knowledge.
Yeah.
So I think same station or rank or class.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we're looking for an OB6 because we need it right here and right now. And we're looking for a very specific knowledge.
Yeah. Um, there's no one that can give me help.
Right.
I have 2 reputations, and Nara is more than happy to use either one of them if they will help. One is burned by the wheel. I think I don't think elf friend makes any sense here, but I burned by the wheel might.
I think burn by the wheel makes sense.
Because she's going to yell that the wheel that you hold, like she's in the Church of the Burning Wheel. She's going to yell the wheel that you've, that we all hold holy. I've touched and I've held.
I don't even know if you need to mention it. I think
Yeah.
we just say like, let's use that, and so that's going to factor in to what comes
Awesome.
next.
All right. Okay. I have no persona, and I'm definitely not going to do it. I can't do it carefully. I can't fork. I think I'm just rolling 4 dice and trying to get 6 successes. So let's do it.
Can you bring any wises in there?
I don't know that you can fork wises into circles. Let's see. If I can, hell yeah. I would love to know.
I don't think so.
I think the only thing you can normally get on circles is reputations, affiliations, and
Yep. You're correct. Yep.
Okay, here we go.
Make the roll. Or don't, or whatever.
Or don't, yeah. Well, probably not, but all right, 2 dice.
Yeah.
Oh, 6. Not even close.
Cool. So I think a priest comes out and he looks at them and like he takes them down tenderly and says, I can make sure their passings are easier, but that's all I can do. And like he starts crying and he says, I don't know what to, I've never been trained to do this. I'm so sorry.
Well, then Nara is also crying, but it's like a yelling, crying, fit crying, and
Yeah.
she
You've got bloodletting.
I've got bloodletting, so I'm gonna try and save them. But I mean, like clearly, I can't just be working on both at the same time. So this is really hard because this woman Freja has really been good to me in this short period of time, and Tovar is possessed by a demon, and I don't know what's going to happen if she survives.
Right.
And so let me look at my beliefs. There they are, right in front of us. A demon is placed to sit on the throne because I failed to unmask him. I will unmake him, starting with freeing Tovar from his grasp. I mean, I can't do that if she's dead. I mean, maybe I can. Maybe that's a really harsh way of saying I'm freeing her from his grasp. The Iron Lord's massacre will not be forgotten. They will bury their own heads. That was written before I knew this woman, but it is certainly in alignment with her. So I have one belief that points to one and one belief that points to the other.
Yeah. It is. I think that's just Burning Wheel's way of saying, Sean, this is your fucking decision, baby.
Yep, exactly. Oh man, I'm going to try and save Freja.
Okay.
I'll let Tovar die. I don't know. That's the right call.
Yep.
But I don't know that if I save Tovar, she'll be the person I thought she was. And
right.
All right. Shall we look at the anatomy of a wound?
I'm there. I'm on page 492.
Awesome.
I am right there. So I'm trying to figure out what kind of wound would have knocked them out. I'm thinking, is severe enough to do it, or does it have to be traumatic or mortal?
I mean, severe gives you. Well, let's put it this way: once you have enough penalty wound dice that you don't have one of your physical attributes drops to 0.
Yeah.
You are incapacitated. So they may have taken a light wound, a midi wound.
Yeah.
You could be incapacitated with nothing but light wounds because you've taken.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to find out what kind of wound she has with a die of fate. A 1 means a bunch of light wounds. 2 to 3 is a severe. 4 to 5 is traumatic, and a 6 is mortal. Cool. It's traumatic.
Great. Okay.
So for bloodletting, it is an ob 3.
All right. That's not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
Whew. Will you make the same roll for Tovar? I think that there may actually be a part of unless you're like, no, you get to know that because you've decided to look at her. If
I'm cool with that.
Okay.
Tovar is the same.
Also traumatic. Great. Perfect. Love it. I think if one of them was so much easier to bend than the other, that might have changed. Damn right. They're both traumatically wounded. These wounds are going to be awful. All right. Here we go. Bloodletting. I am going to fork in astrology. A, because I can, but B, because I think there's actually something to say about which humors are the strongest under these stars.
But actually, like, bloodletting is about letting out bloods that are bad humors, right? So that's really shitty science. But one of the things you have to be able to do with bloodletting is stop bleeding.
Yes.
Like, you've got to be good at that. So you actually know how to do that. You know how to, like, take a belt and wrap it around a leg and stop the bleeding. Like, I think through learning bloodletting, like, you learn things that are actually useful.
Yeah.
For stopping bleeding in particular. So yeah, you've got it.
Awesome.
And I think the priest, former chaplain, former mercenary turned priest, has field dressing. So he's going to help you. He's going to give you a helping die.
Awesome. That's something. Is there alcohol or other supplies around that could kill infection, whatnot, such that forking and alchemy would make sense?
If you tell him, like, go get me some whiskey, yes, he would do that.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's it. I think okay. So I've got alchemy. I'm bringing in astrology, and I've got a helping die. Okay. This is possible. I might save her life.
Okay.
Whoever knew that your friend's life would come down to a bloodletting roll. Up 3, you said, right?
Yeah.
Put the wrong things. Okay, bloodletting 3.
What'd you get? I'm not looking at it.
I got 3, but I got 3 6s on that. And one of the things that you can do when you roll over is do things quickly. So I'm going to expand all 3 of those 6s, and I'm going to see if I can do this quickly enough that you give me a chance to save Tomar. Maybe not, but I'm going
to say you need to double the ob. I'm going to say you need ob 6 to get this done real fast.
That sounds right. Okay. Well, it's still 3 6s, and I need to get 3 successes. So wilder things have happened. And I did it!
Holy shit. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, you stop her bleeding amazingly fast. You've got her stable. And he looks, I think, like, he moves over to Tovar with you, and, like, she's still holding on.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. I mean, the stars must truly be aligned right now, because I did not expect that. Sean didn't expect that. I think Nara never thought, I want to give up 1. She was just like, she just made a decision. I'm gonna start here, and her hands are just covered in blood, and she rinses them off in whiskey, and then goes and starts to Tovar. I think it's the same ob, right? I mean, I think it's another.
Yep. Same ob.
All right. I'm doing the same thing.
Cool. Let's do it.
She is alive.
Wow.
I did not expect. I feel like I cheated just then.
No. It's awesome. I love it. I mean, who would have thought that bloodletting would be the skill?
And none of those, astrology did not do me wrong in any of those. Oh my Lord. I think Nara is just exhausted.
Yeah.
But before she can pass out, she turns to the priest, puts a bloody hand on his arm. He's probably bloody as hell too. I mean, he's helping me with field medicine. We're all gross. She puts a bloody hand on his arm, and she says, "That one's possessed by a demon. She can't leave this hallowed ground." And then just, like, slumps down. Like, sorry, Bob, to, like, drop you with that, but
Yeah.
Oh
I
my Lord, Judd. I don't. Wow.
I mean, I think we should just kind of end it right there.
Yeah, I think so too. I feel like that's it.
Because like we're also right near, like, clearly an enemy castle
Yeah.
in a church that probably can't like bar the doors to like the local lord easily, and
No.
like it's real likely that Freja is going to be, a hostage in the upcoming war, and
Mhm.
and you're with her. Um, yeah, I think there's a lot of interesting shit going on right now, and I think we should just kind of stop there for the night. And holy shit, uh,
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
yeah,
I was like, oh, they're dead. There's no way to save them, and
yeah,
sometimes not.
yep.
Okay.
Awesome. Let's do Artha.
Yeah, let's do it. So start with beliefs. Archmage is a human trait that means nothing. The wheel of fire burns all. Um, for me, that belief was really about Nara going back and uh, not giving up, and like I'm gonna pick it up and I'm gonna keep trying. The only way that really manifested was her making a circles test to try and find a wizard that would teach her.
Yeah,
So
I'll say a fate. Yeah,
does that feel fate worthy? Okay.
yeah.
I feel like that's a generous fate, but I'll take it. A demon is poised to sit on the throne because I failed to unmask him. I will unmake him, starting by freeing Tovar from his grasp. I mean, I don't know.
I
You
think it's
have
worth
to tell me
fate.
his. Yeah,
I think
I
it's
haven't
worth fate.
freed.
Like you clearly got into. I mean, my benchmark for like a fate for stuff like that is like, did you get into a conflict that was meaningful? Because all conflict should be meaningful. Trying to do this, and I think,
Yeah,
like, yes, a number of times you did, and
yeah,
it doesn't matter. You get one fate. Like, that's just the way it works.
yeah. The Iron Lord's massacre will not be forgotten. They will bury their own heads. How many of these people died, Judd?
Um,
Tovar.
Probably a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I
do you?
really wanted them to. I really wanted them to, pay, and I didn't. In an uncharacteristic way, Nara wasn't particularly keen on capturing them. She was like,
Right.
"You guys did awful things." Capture would have been fine, but she was also very happy with murder, and I think she facilitated a lot of that, helped them find them, and all that. So
Yeah.
if we have if we have captured or slain a significant portion of that, for me, I feel like that's done. Like I did it. But if you think like we're still working on it, I'm happy. I definitely worked on it.
I think you're still working on it, and
Okay.
um, to quote Brick, the great movie Brick, it's not so much to know who did it. Like, I want to know who put her in front of the gun, right? And I
Yeah.
think, like, you don't really, at this point, you don't even really know if you got a lot of, like, some of them are dead, some of them are not.
Right.
You just don't know.
Yeah, that makes
So,
sense.
cool.
Excellent. Well, I'm going to keep that beliefs. I don't think I'm going to touch it for next time. So it's one. In fact, I might keep all of these honestly, which usually I update them between sessions.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like these are going to stick.
Yeah, these are shit hot beliefs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think you get workhorse or MVP rather.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know, maybe both, but I think definitely workhorse.
I feel like it. I did a lot to make this.
I'm going to say persona. Yeah, take a persona for workhorse. I feel like you really killed it, so to speak, or did not kill it.
I did not kill it. I wonder Andy pointed out spooky Nara as I was talking about all this apocalypse wise. Did yelling all of these obscenities about demon possess me? If you want to create the apocalypse, if you want to bring about the apocalypse, there's no better tool than an archmage. Did that change Frasia's opinion? Did that scare the hell out of Frasia's opinion?
No,
Frasier?
I mean, people yell crazy shit in battle. I think like I think Fraser realized that you were like trying to tempt the demon out of him, out
Yeah.
of out of Tovar. Like I don't think I think Fraser thinks that that's brave as fuck. Is what I think Fraser thinks.
Cool. Then I will not ask for spooky.
Yeah.
A fate for big spooky.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to say right skill, right time. I had bloodletting and people were dying.
Yep.
Like it was
totally take a fate for that. Yeah. Yep.
Cool. And I'd like to nominate Frasier for embodiment. I felt like I got to know who she was, and it's
I really like her.
I do too. I don't want her to die. I picked her first. Yeah. I mean, she's got a horrible wound. It's good that I made that. Well, the health test keeps her from bleeding to death, but this healing test makes her bleed to death, but also I think gives her some help with regards to the her health test that she has to make. So
cool.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I'm kind of back where I started. That's okay. I got 7 fate, 1 persona.
So here's where I like, just to give you like a place to think about the next game. Here's where I am thinking it goes. I think like soldiers come out of the castle to like sort everything out. You have no idea like how many of your people survived because they get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
And Freja is taken to the castle. She tells them that you're her court sorcerer, so that you're safe too. And they're basically like holding her there as prisoner until she's healthy enough to be moved.
Yeah.
And you like realize that the way nobles do is they look out for each other, and even though it's war, they're gonna do their best to see her healed up.
Okay.
And the other thing that I think would come out over the next couple of days is the priest would like say, like, I had a vision that someone wheel touched was going to come and need my help. And that's why I had like all of this like alcohol and rags and stuff ready.
Right.
Because the Lord of Fire sent me a vision that a wheel touched wizard would be coming.
I dig it.
And we'll name that priest later. We also know that they're like a priest and a former chaplain.
Yeah. Yeah, I dig it. Which I think Nara would be suspicious of. Like, what? I woke you in the but maybe. Yeah. So I think Nara and Frasier are both being in custody. Makes total sense. And the one thing I didn't do, but I have an instinct about, so I might ping you about next time, is when encountering an old friend, sense their aura to see if they're possessed. I just sort of assumed Tomar was still possessed, right? And it seemed, you know what? I don't even need to worry about it. No one pulls themselves down the end of a spear when they're if they're
no. I told you like the horses are side to side and they're like bumping chests and you can tell that Tovar is still possessed. Like I told you that. I don't know if you remember it, but I said
okay, cool. Excellent. Rad. I mean the situation has changed a lot, but I don't know. I'll think on my beliefs, but I think it's pretty good chance that I'll keep them.
No, I think they're keepable. That's why I wanted to kind of like give you an idea of like, hey, this is kind of where things are headed.
Yeah.
Because I think they're totally keepable. Yep.
What a night.
Awesome.
Friends, thanks so much for hanging out with us. This was a wild ride. I did not expect to be riding into Ironlands and getting captured and being part of a brutal fight between two people I cared about. How cool is that? How many times do you get to do that? Do you get to be sitting on horseback where your new bestie is trying to kill your old bestie who's been possessed by a demon?
Nice.
So
Yeah, that was good shit. That was fun.
yeah, very good stuff. Anywho, normal outro stuff. I'm Sean. You find me on all the regular places. I do have some kind of fun news, which is that the Thirsty Sword Lesbians Kickstarter stretch goals are starting to be released to backers. So Gaylords and Crystalia both got laid out and released. They're pre-art. They will have art eventually, but we're going to do the art order once we have all of them laid out. So we're sharing with backers the early releases of it. But that's pretty. I feel like the Kickstarter just happened like 4 seconds ago. So to have stretch goals for it, even though it was actually in October, but to have stretch goals for it is still pretty exciting. So that's good news. And then also we are announcing 2 new games next month. 2 new games that we're going to be publishing. So I'm pretty stoked about that news. And so yeah, good stuff there. Otherwise, you can find me, on all the normal places. How about you, Judd? What's going on in your?
Hey, I'm Judd, he, him. I've been posting a lot of stuff on my blog lately. My podcast has an episode that's 92% done, which is always the worst amount to have done because it means I really don't want to do the last 8%, but it's almost done. And I need to re-record one little segment and then kick it out the door. So that should be coming next week, Daydreaming About Dragons. And tomorrow I'll be back doing some science fiction, Stars Without Number, faction, pew pew pew, good stuff with Misha and Jay, and it should be a lot like a science fiction cop buddy movie, but not cops, which is awesome, and I'm looking forward to it. So it should be a lot of fun. I'm curious, as I'm always curious. I'm always interested to see how this is going to go. Yeah. And it was cool. One of the things I liked about tonight is I got to like let the dice decide a lot of plot elements. Like Tovar could have been captured in Shadowhold, and I really didn't know, and I let the circles roll decide that, and it was fun to like let a lot of things go to the dice, and see how that worked. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was very gratifying.
Yeah, those circles rolls were pretty darn formative, honestly.
Yeah,
it's funny because I feel like there's some roles in Burning Wheel that are kind of meant to be, it's a very conflict resolution based system rather than task resolution system. But some roles really, the scope of roles really changes, and so circles roles are interesting in that they kind of tend to set up situations. They don't resolve them. They're like, well, cool, you're going to go into the situation with the help that you need, or nope, you're going to go into the situation and you're going to have to find that help on your own, or you're gonna, or it's and whereas other tests you make tend to like determine outcomes, and so I think it's interesting that you're like, cool, let's see what the adventure is going to be tonight. Make a circles roll, and either you're starting on the right track, or it's almost like engagement roles. In Blade, it's like I just think of them. Even though mechanically they work the same, I think of them as doing lots of good setup, heavy lifting on the setup work. So it's good stuff.
Yeah. But now that I've seen it, I'm like, oh man, how could I ever have done anything but send Nara with this crew and have her bind with really like have these cool moments with this Duchess and like I wouldn't trade this adventure for the world. So I wish I had like could say, oh well, I planned this all from the top. Like I knew there was going to be this ambush, and I would love to be able to say that, but that's just not how things shook out. As it is, I'm thrilled with the result.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I really was like, I was super content to be like, Nara's, learning things in Wheelholt, right? And finds a mentor and, learning a new school so that she can pick up the wheel. And it's like, yeah, maybe, but there's urgent things. And I'm really glad that, yeah, it's just so good.
Yeah.
All right, friends. Well, we will. We're gonna throw up a thanks for watching screen, and then we're just gonna like stay quiet for a while, and then we're gonna turn off the stream because there's no way for us to talk until we do. So we'll see y'all. Do you want to do it, Jed? Do you want to flow?
Yeah, I got it. I got it. All right. Thank you all for coming, and thank you for watching. If you're watching at home, and we will see you in a couple weeks. And if you have any comments, if you're watching this on YouTube, if you have any comments, drop them in the comments and let us know what you think. If you have any questions, we answer pretty fast, and we love getting comments. So let us know. And thanks for watching. And now, vaguely smooth outro, kind of smoothish.